If I had to ask you, which game has changed the mobile gaming industry forever at launch, I'm sure that all of you will answer Clash of Clans. Unless you are a 50 years old divorced mom, then your answer will be Candy Crush. But let's get back to us. At his launch in 2012, Clash of Clans has revolutionized the mobile gaming industry by creating a strategic and competitive game that was easily playable on our phones. The graphic was incredible and the players were able to personalize and upgrade their base. The troops were also diversified, allowing more strategic options, and the clans added a sense of community that became only better with time. In a few words, Clash of Clans created something completely new and innovating, therefore everyone was in love with the game. But nothing was meant to stay forever. Even though the game was updated consistently, its popularity slowly started to fall, and the reasons were multiple. First of all, the game had high upgrade times, which made it hard to reach the endgame. Just imagine that with every new town hall, new building levels were added, and every new level had a major cost in time and resources. Sometimes you had to wait 2 weeks and more just to finish an upgrade. The solution to this were gems and microtransactions. Only this way we could make the game faster and less boring. But let's be honest, no one wants to spend money for a mobile game, and most of all for upgrades. In fact, new Supercell games understood perfectly the problem and did everything to avoid it. For example, Brawl Stars is a perfect example of how a game should be. You can play every time you want without having to wait for your troops to train, and the microtransactions are mostly about skins. Plus, once you upgraded your favorite Brawl to the last level, which is not that hard, you can play immediately competitively. The only chance for Clash of Clans to become more entertaining were events and game-changing updates. And they tried with the builder base, with new town halls and some sporadic events, which made the game better for sure. But the waiting time between the events and updates were too long, and how I told you, gamers these days are getting bored fast. So most of the players were leaving for newer games, with the hope to come back one day to a better Clash of Clans. In the late 2023, after the Clash of Win event, Supercell finally understood what they needed to do in order to make Clash of Clans great again. The event was so good and popular that a lot of players came back to the game, which meant that this was what players wanted. But there was a big problem: the developers spent too much time and resources on it. So in order to provide the content players wanted and to provide it fast, the company decided to double the team of developers, with a promise to solve the in-game problems that made a lot of players leave in the past years, and to work on future updates in order to make the game faster and more adapt for new coming players. And the first thing they did was to slowly improve the in-game interface and chat, but also to try and deliver a new town hall every year instead of every 18 months. At first, the players were intrigued, because new town halls meant more new features for Clash of Clans, but they also was afraid that if too many town halls was added, the end game would become a long distant dream. Luckily, the fear wasn't meant to stay forever, because Supercell had a plan and nothing was going to stop them from making Clash of Clans one more time the best game in the world. Knowing that most players leave the game in the past because of the upgrading time, they decided to reduce these times for higher town halls while reducing them to half for the lower ones. And not only the times, but also the upgrading cost. And so far, I noticed that with every new town hall added, there was always some more reductions. But it doesn't end there. They also added the helpers that will help the player max out fast, and this time not only the buildings, but also the laboratory researches. The biggest change is the elimination of training time for the troops.
You can attack as much as you want, you can get as much loot as you want.
To be honest, no one even asked for it, because we thought it will never happen. Yet, here we are. And with the troops training time, we also will lose spells brewing time, siege machines training time, and the most important, heroes will no longer need recovery time. Finally, we can play whenever we want without having to wait. This is one of two dynamics the game needed to attract new players. We now live in the era of TikTok, where everything has to be fast and immediate. Supercell understood it finally and delivered in the best way possible. And they are still cooking. Starting with 2024, updates become consistent and fun. They realized that a 2012 game can't compete with new released ones, so they started to improve the interface and implement the in-game utilities like the tactic view, to make players understand better the range of defenses or to know if clan castle have troops inside. Also, developers introduced supercharges for the endgame players, so they can have a goal even if their base is maxed. But the best updates were the ones that completely changed our imagination of the game and made us understand what direction Clash of Clans was taking. I'm talking about the new merging defenses that showed us the solution to the limited space in our village. Another big change was the addition of a 5th hero, but also the new rule of using only 4 heroes in battle. So now we know that more heroes will come in the future, but without feeling to have too much on the screen. And of course, the addition of a new hero equipment gifted a new breadth to the game, by adding new dynamics and possibilities to play Clash of Clans. A lot of updates that no one was expecting and that everybody liked. But the best part was that this type of updates will be the norm for the future. In a few words, it was the second renaissance for Clash of Clans. But it wasn't over yet. Another thing that was clear after the Clash of Win event was that if you wanted players to play consistently a game, you need to give them events, especially in a game like Clash of Clans, where 50% of the gameplay consists in waiting while our troops or buildings are upgrading. So now we have consistently at least one event a month, if not more. And the best part is that these events are incredibly good made and fun to play, because they add new troops or mechanics to the game. To make a few examples, we have new troops for every Halloween or Chinese New Year. The same we had for the last event, the new Snake Barrel. Another interesting addition were the chests that now are a permanent feature inside the game. They are totally free and have different rarity with different prizes inside, like books and magic snacks, that were another new addition. In a few words, events are getting better and better with every new one. The best event for me was for sure the controllable heroes we had for Christmas. It was just perfect. And the best part of these events, besides the content they provide, are for sure the prizes we get after completing them. These prizes can be as said the new chests, skins, equipments, magic items, and so on. Clash of Clans is finally becoming the game we all wanted it to be. And this is possible not only because their team became bigger, but also because they understood and started changing the monetization system inside the game, slowly eliminating the pay-to-win mechanics and switching to an economy based on sceneries, skins and events. By making these decisions, the company is making money by having more monetization options, and the players are happy to pay for non-pay-to-win stuff. In fact, the biggest and most important reason why Clash of Clans is making a major comeback is because developers are listening to the community and try their best to improve the game for the players, as said by themselves multiple times. And a beautiful example of this is when in 2024 they decided to remove a free skin from the pass, but after all the players complained about, they reintroduced it. And the same happened when they removed the progress bars while trying to modernize the in-game interface, but added it immediately back for the players. You can also see their support to the community in some small but needed improvements for the players, like removing obstacles without needing a builder now, or the limit of only 4 usable heroes in battle, which was also a player's idea. But the best part for me personally is seeing the Clash of Clans team themselves making fun with memes about the game. To have an example, go and watch some shorts on their official YouTube channel. They make me smile every time. Correct me if I'm wrong, but not a lot of developers have ever made fun of themselves or the game they created. In fact, because of all these reasons, Clash of Clans is still on top, and the community likes it more and more with every new update, unlike what happens with other games that I don't want to name. Clash Royale. Clash of Clans have already 13 years, but most of the players are still here. Some for nostalgia, some for the good work they are doing, but mostly because they are feeling listened and understood. Plus, talking from personal experience, this is one of the best community out there, always ready to support and help you. There is for sure toxicity like in other games, but it's a healthy toxicity. In a few words, the community is undying. Players can stop playing a few months or years, but they will always return to the game, and the village will be there, waiting for the chief to continue with the journey. In a few words, Clash of Clans was, is and will be at the top of the mobile gaming industry, all because of the team behind it and the player base. You can easily see the progress it did in the past years, always in better and always for the players. Even though it's a game launched 13 years ago, there was never an update or a change made against their players. There was for sure made some mistakes on the way, But we are all humans, and what counts is the game we have today. And what I see are improvements after improvements, and I hope that this will never stop, because I love Clash of Clans. Unlike other games, it makes me relax without needing to compete or to play daily. This is how Clash of Clans just cooked the biggest comeback ever, which is something other games struggle to do. I hope you watch the video till the end, because I put a lot of effort in making it. And if so, then comment with community down below and left a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more upcoming content about Clash of Clans, and as always, see you soon. Chief.